Alright, let's start fitting out the truck. This will take several episodes. In the first one, we'll focus on replacing the broken side mirror. Next, we'll cover the surveillance camera. It's currently on a magnetic base. I'll explain soon. We placed it out of the way. We'll add LED light bars to the truck for lighting. And at the end of this episode, I'll explain about the floor. Since I'd like to make a sliding ramp, I'll show you the rail I'm going to use. In a future episode, we'll focus on the floor and the setup on this side. As I told you, this episode is about the mirror, the camera, the LED light bars, and that'll already be pretty good. Alright, let's get started with a tour of the truck since so many of you have asked for it. And there you go, the interior. You see there's absolutely nothing except for an MDF floor that's completely damaged. Because MDF and water don't mix well. When your wet feet step inside, it absorbs all the water like a sponge. The side storage boxes have the same issue. I'll redo them because it doesn't hold at all. The paneling there, I'm not really sure. The idea is to cover this whole side. And then make a floor about 6 or 7 centimeters high. And a sliding ramp. So the ramp goes along the entire length of the truck and you pull it out completely so you can go up with a cart, a box, whatever. I want to keep this side door because I use it regularly, so I'm not going to do any work on that side at all. Only this side will go on the floor and underneath the ramp. So back then I used PVC pipes. I don't know if I'll keep the idea. For now I'll take them out, we'll see. I'll put the broom in there. An aluminum ruler. Here there was a third hand that disappeared. Plus the step stool on the trunk. I don't know if I'll keep the idea, but I have a new step ladder that I'll show you, which takes up absolutely no space. So the idea will be to fit it in somewhere. We'll talk about it again later, and I'll also install the lighting. I bought some small replacement ramps. We're going to install them. And also the camera that I want to stick either here or there. We'll get to that soon. For now, I'll take the tape measure and check the length and width for anyone interested. It's an L2, 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 H1. So H1 in height, L2 in length. Alright, I'll start by giving you the dimensions. That can give you an idea if you're interested in this kind of vehicle. It's an L2, L2, H1. So, no matter the brand, it's about the same size. There's also an L1, L1, H1 version that's slightly shorter. I chose the L2 simply for the L2 so I could load them straight into the van, whether flat or standing up. That was really my main reason. I closed the doors and I'm all set. So we'll start with the height at the lowest point. I've got 1.30 meters, he's got 1.35 meters with a lining, so 1.30 meters at the lowest point. So here, up to the floor, knowing that later, as I told you, I'll add my floor with the ramp, so I'll lose some height. But normally I need to keep 1.2 meters for my plasterboard. So 1.30 meters at the lowest point. For the width, I take the highest point since it's slightly curved. And I have 1 meter 60. 1 meter 60, 1 meter 60. And if I take 1 meter 65 at the widest point. At the trunk level, 1 meter 22. From wheel to wheel, I have 1 meter 22. So the plasterboard fits. Since it's 1 meter 20, we can lay it flat. And in length, so in length, knowing that I'm gonna base it on the white trim you see, which is below the black part, that's really the lowest point. I have 10 to 15 centimeters, and then the sheet metal follows the shape of the seat, so we lose length. We lose 30 centimeters, keep that in mind. But well, 30 centimeters knowing that here, if I measure I have 2.90 meters in length, and I can close the doors, and I lose at the highest point you can see. It's right here. I lose 30 centimeters, I have 2.60 meters, I had already measured them. So 2.60 meters here on an L2, I can put a drywall panel upright. It fits, it's a 2.50 meter panel, maybe even 2.60 meters, I can close the doors. So maybe not 2.60 meters, I'm mistaken because here it goes at an angle. Let's say 2.50 meters, that definitely fits. I've already put some in before. No problem with that, otherwise lay them flat. But you only have 15 centimeters. So 15 centimeters of drywall, that gives you, let's say, about 10 boards that you can lay flat. You know everything. We'll start by focusing on the camera and then we'll do the lighting, knowing that the lighting will help me set up the flooring. And on this side, so I'll start with the camera, I'll show you. And I'm going to put it on a magnetic base, so I can move it around, depending on the setup, depending on what I put in the truck. Okay, the camera is on its magnetic base, we'll come back to it later. With the app, the phones, SIM cards, 4G, 5G, whatever you want. So, magnetic base, I can put it wherever I want, depending on the setup. I would say, well, in this corner it's suitable. I'll fix it permanently, I'll show you. For now, we're focusing on the LED strips, the most standard ones. I got these on Amazon. There's even a switch. So, you have the link in the description. I bought 3 of them, and I'm not going to place them at the ceiling light level. I'm going to put them here on this support all along. So, why here? Well, simply because they're protected. If I put them at the ceiling level, I'll lose height. I'm going to raise the floor for the sliding ramp, so I'll lose height. I just told you. Here, it's protected. I never put anything there. It will also light up this fitted panel, so that's a double benefit. So, we put in 3, I'll take the camera, I'll show you where I ran the cables. There's a cable duct, the gray duct you see, we can also use it. I used it to run the cable. There we go, and it goes back through the reinforcement that's just above me, and I gather all my cables here. So it's going very well. There are some spots where it gets a little stuck. You can get it out easily. You need to have fairly thin fingers. It goes through, but you have to be careful not to cut yourself. Wear gloves if needed. So then we install the strips once the cables are through. With this type of fastener, with self-drilling screws. Or there's a sticker. I'm not going to use the sticker. Well, quite simply because the day I want to move the lights, or if I want to add more, I'll have to scrape the metal. I'll scratch it. I prefer to make a hole. With holes already in the reinforcements, it won't stand out. I can add an insert with a bolt since there's a hole. But a self-drilling screw will do the job. Okay, I'll film the cable routing for you. I'll explain everything. And then we attach the strips and it's done. Alright, as for the wiring, we have 1 negative and 2 positives. In my case, I'm keeping the delay function since I leave the truck doors open. I just need to add some lighting when it's dark so I can see clearly to put away the tools. But if you want permanent lighting, you'll need to do different wiring. You can even add a switch, or why not, well, where the socket is, here. There are often 12-volt sockets inside vans, so you can use them. And do some new wiring. So I'm keeping the time shut off. I connected back to the dome light. I ran my cable through the reinforcement. It comes out here because I'm going to put a strip light there. And then I have the cable duct. So the cable duct, I used it to run the wire right through the reinforcement at the ceiling level. The cable is here, and here we are. All the way over there. It's going well because it's thick. And then we go here, second hold, and we go all the way over there, third hold. So, a hold. 2 holds. And I'm going to put one here at the end, just to light things up. This way, because at first I wanted to put everything here, but 2 are more than enough. I did a test and it lights up really, really well. Let's attach the strips and see the result. So now we're doing a test just with the original ceiling light. All right, I'll close the door behind me. So here, this is the lighting just with the original ceiling light. You can see that we can't see much. All the replacement lights are off. So now we're going to do the same test by getting into the van with the LED lighting on plus the ceiling light. Second test with the original ceiling light and the 3 replacement bars we just installed. I'm closing the door behind me. We can see much more clearly. The original ceiling lights are on, the replacement lamps too. What's good is that there's no flickering. I can film them and we can see much more clearly. Now, third test, I turn off the original ceiling lights and keep only the light bars on. We can see just as well. Honestly, we could just turn off the original ceiling lights since they're not useful. We can see much better with these 3 light bars and the ceiling light. There we can turn it back on, but it's not really useful. Okay, I'm staying in the truck for a bit with the door closed. The timer usually turns off the ceiling lights and light bars. You'll see what happens. For those who are interested, the cable I used is 2 by 0.75. There's no point in using a larger gauge. Here, it's 12 volts, you could even go lower. It would work the same way. So now, everything turns off. The timer has ended. I open the door and it will turn back on. There you go, perfect, everything works. So after that, you can connect it directly, add a switch, make a new circuit, set it up however you want. Anything is possible with 12 volts, the ceiling light, the replacement strips. You do it your way. Alright, to finish up with the lighting and the cables, like I said, it's 2x 0.75, that's more than enough. There are connectors, I could just stuff everything in there like that, but I don't like it. Tape or heat shrink tubing. The problem is, my tubing is a bit too big and I don't have any with a smaller diameter. So, we'll make do with what we have, and if you want it to work, just make do. That's how it is, otherwise I'll just use some tape for now, and then I bought some heat shrink tubing. For heat shrink tubing, use any heat source, heat guns, lighters or torches. Just avoid burning things or drinking afterward. Just gently bring the heat source close to melt the heat shrink tubing. It will shrink around the connectors, cables and so on. We do the test, and if it doesn't work because it's too large in diameter, alright, I'll put some tape on it in the meantime. Alright, it's working pretty well. This has shrunk, it's protected my connectors, my cables. Now I can put everything into the reinforcements. Alright, I just have 1, 2, 3 left to do. 3 more sleeves and it's done. Alright, the light in the truck is done. Let's get back to the camera. I'll explain how to set it up, how to install it, and how to have a Wi-Fi network in the truck. You'll see it's very simple. I'll show you the box again, the image. The real reference is here. PPIC 90000F. You have the link in the description that takes you to Abu's or Abus's website because they make a lot of things. So Abu or Abu's, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Let's say Abu. They make a lot of things. I knew them for their padlocks, their anti-theft products. They make padlocks, video surveillance, alarm systems, security cylinders, door security, window protection, hazard detectors, access control, bike helmets, bike locks. So their range is very broad. Basically, they're in the security business. So we're going to use the camera for the truck's security because I often leave the doors open and I don't want anyone to get into the truck and steal my stuff. So I'll be alerted if someone is present. I often work in private homes, but that's exactly where the danger is because I feel completely safe since it's on private property. But someone from the street could notice what I'm doing, see that I leave the doors open and think, well, he's not there for a while, I'll go in, help myself and do whatever I want. I can't activate the truck's alarm since the doors are open, so the idea is to be alerted in real time with a camera that will notify me if someone is present. It'll be secured with self-tapping screws, so at worst someone might bump it and that's it. It will alert me on my phone, giving me time to go check what's happening. The camera, the USB base. Phone, so how does it work? You have a phone carrier. I'm with Orange, it could be Bouygues, SFR, it doesn't matter. There's something called the duplicate SIM option. So then, if you don't want to bother with all that, you can get a plan from anyone, the cheapest possible. It's just to have a 4G network and then turn the 4G network into a mobile hotspot. Basically, we're going to share the connection. So I'm with Orange, I have what's called the second SIM option, which costs me absolutely nothing per month. It's zero euros, and I can duplicate my SIM card. That means in my main phone, I have my main card. I took the twin card option. I put the other card in another phone. I receive calls at the same time on both phones. Text messages, 4G network and so on. So for €0 you get an old phone. This phone will basically serve as a modem for us. Access point. So we're going to transform it. I'll show you. Here it's an Android. On iOS it would be the same. We go into the settings, we go into connection. Mobile hotspot and modem. We activate, the mobile hotspot, and so we turn the phone into an internet box and we'll be able to connect the base and the camera to this phone. This 4G network is turned into a Wi-Fi network. Okay, so next, on your phone, we'll need to install the camera. We have an app, it's right here. Up2Cam Plus. I'll put a little visual and the link in the description for you. You tap it, it opens the app, and then it's going to ask us to install the camera. Add a new device, so you just need to follow the procedure. It's very simple. There are pictures and it asks which camera. Mine is battery powered. New camera. It explains the installation steps. To scan the QR code, we'll do it together. Alright, scan the QR code and then select the Wi-Fi. So I'm going to use the Wi-Fi from the phone, the old phone in quotes. There's no point in putting a new phone hidden in the truck connected by USB. Okay, since you'll need to connect everything via USB. You take a car charger, you plug in a USB extension, you hide it somewhere for me. I'm not going to tell you where to hide an old phone and a base that, as you can see, fits in my hand in the truck. There are hiding spots everywhere. I trust you. So then, we set up the network. Standard procedure, it detects the camera, we sync it, we press the pairing button. It's gonna sync with the camera. I've already done it on the phone. Everything works. Then, well, yes, it's turned on here. There we go. You'll see it's going to blink somewhere. There we go, it's on. It's working. So then, once everything is set up, you take, as I told you, the base, the phone, we hide everything in the truck. We install the app. We set up the camera permanently and you get real-time alerts as soon as someone enters your truck. Theft on construction sites happens frequently, especially when there are other tradesmen, other workers involved on a site besides you. You have to lock everything. Make sure you have all your toolboxes in the room where you're working. Sadly, you can't trust everyone. It's a shame since most tradesmen know each other. We run into each other at the suppliers' places. But tool theft does happen and it's really a shame among tradesmen, especially in small towns. But that's how it is. There are people who want to help themselves. Well, they do. But now we'll be notified in real time. Because, as I told you earlier, if you leave the truck doors open, which is what I do, unfortunately, you can't activate the alarm. So you'll need to have a Doberman present or a GGN guy on the roof ready to fire, but that's not possible. So a small camera and you'll see everything on the screen in real time with the camera. An alert, boom, you see what happened, and it also records on the card. SD, that's in the base. Okay, you know everything. We'll come back to it once everything is set up. As for the setup, I'll put the camera back in place and I'll show you the phone screen which will film the truck live. But for now, I need to find the angle. One last thing, I'll show you the rail we're going to use. This is the rail, so this one is a leftover piece, but it's still pretty long. You see, the idea is to lay it flat in this direction, so one on each side. Whoops, I just caught it in time. One on each side and to pass through it. A nut, a washer here, and to slide the structure we're going to build. You'll see all of that. So there are several solutions. I'll talk to you about them next week. We're going to make our structure, and on this structure we'll be able to put plywood, basically covering the whole structure with plywood. I'm not trying to make something very wide. If it's 50, 60 cm, maximum 70, that's perfectly fine for me. It's just so I can go up with a wheelbarrow or a rolling platform, anything like that, and I could even use it as a workbench when needed. That means I'm going to take out the structure and make a leg system that folds down, and so I'll have, in quotes, this workbench to be able to work behind my truck. And the idea is really to use the whole length to pull out at least 3 meters if I need to roll a wheelbarrow up it, if I need to work. I pull out 50 centimeters, 1 meter or 2 meters, whatever I need. But there you go, double function ramp and workbench. That's all for this video. I'll see you next week. As usual, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share your comments, you know the drill. In the meantime, take care. Have a great week, everyone. See you next week.